What's up, Eagles fans? Today's episode is packed with news, analysis, and insight straight from the heart of the team's front office. So if you've been distracted or just missed a few updates over the weekend, don't worry. You're in the right place now. Let's get into everything that's been happening around the Eagles. From key front office moves to updates on one of the most talked about plays in football right now. You're definitely going to want to stick around for this one. We start with some big-time movement in the Eagles front office. A familiar name is making a return to the organization. And for those of you who remember the Super Bowl winning squad of a few years back, this will hit close to home. Joe Douglas, one of the architects behind the championship roster, is back in town. Not as the main guy in charge, but in a role that could still have a huge influence on this team's future. Now, if you know your Eagles history, you remember Joe Douglas as a pivotal figure in shaping that iconic 2017 team. He began his career as a scout, worked his way up, and brought a wealth of knowledge and a keen eye for talent to Philadelphia during his original stint. From the early 2000s up to around 2014, he was part of an organization that built from the draft, developed from within, and kept a consistent identity without relying too heavily on splashy free agency signings. That philosophy? That was Douglas all the way. In 2015, he took a new challenge elsewhere, stepping into a leadership position as director of college scouting. His track record there only elevated his name across the league. Eventually, he returned to the Eagles and was promoted to vice president of player personnel, right in time to help assemble one of the most balanced and tough rosters in franchise history. From 2016 to 2019, his fingerprints were all over that team. And we all know what happened in 2017, a championship parade down Broad Street, courtesy of a roster built with precision and vision. Following the Super Bowl win, it didn't take long before the rest of the league came calling. Douglas began getting interest for general manager positions, and eventually he landed one in 2019. He held that spot until just recently, stepping down in 2024 after the head coach of that team was also let go. It's always tough being the GM when the wins don't pile up. But make no mistake, Douglas brought talent and structure everywhere he went. Now, 2 years after that Lombardi Trophy celebration, Douglas is circling back, rejoining the Eagles in a senior scouting role. It's not the flashy title, but his presence in the front office is significant. This is someone who understands the organization, knows the city, and has the resume to match. Before he left in 2019, he helped oversee scouting operations, player development, and personnel strategy. That year's draft had its ups and downs, but it laid the foundation for future talent. Back in 2016, when he first joined the franchise, the moves started flowing. Trades were made, veterans were signed, rookies were drafted, and it all clicked in a way that only championship teams managed to pull off. From experienced linemen to fresh college talent, everyone contributed. That season was magical, and Douglas had a hand in nearly every decision. Even though the following seasons weren't filled with quite as many headlines, 2018 turned out to be one of the strongest draft classes the Eagles have had in a long time. From that year came 4 players who went on to become core contributors: a tight end, a cornerback, a defensive end, and an offensive tackle. That's not just luck, that's scouting at its finest. Douglas consistently showed that he knew how to evaluate future pros and get them into the right system. And look, even though he's not returning as general manager, that his impact is going to be felt. The Eagles' current GM has built something special in recent years. He's surrounded himself with smart, capable people. Some of them were once general managers themselves and now work in collaborative roles to push the team forward. With Douglas back in the mix, the front office feels deeper and more prepared than ever. Let's not forget how stacked this current front office already is. People from this group have been plucked for top positions all around the league. There's a reason why teams keep looking to Philly when they need leadership. Because the Eagles have built a culture of excellence behind the scenes. One former GM recently joined the Eagles in a new role, and another executive with deep ties to Philly's leadership is also on board. Those kinds of connections, they matter. They build trust and help identify talent that others might overlook. Now, sure, Douglas's time with the Jets didn't exactly come with a winning record. Over 5 seasons, they totaled 32 wins and 68 losses. But let's be real. The roster he inherited had serious issues, especially at the quarterback position. That's not an easy fix in today's NFL. Even so, he brought in pieces, drafted well in spots, and helped lay groundwork that could serve the team in the long run. Sometimes the record doesn't tell the whole story. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, the need for stronger scouting and smarter decisions in the personnel department has never been more urgent. Since their last Super Bowl appearance, the Eagles have seen an exodus of key personnel from their scouting staff. The former head of college scouting took a major job with the Las Vegas team. Another departed for a vice president of player personnel position. Even a national scout moved on recently to join the Broncos under one of the league's most respected coaches. These departures are signs of success, but they also leave a gap that needs to be filled. That's why bringing someone like Joe Douglas back into the fold matters. The Eagles have hit home runs in recent drafts, and it's not by accident. The talent coming through the door has been top tier. They've landed difference makers, not just solid starters. With more voices like Douglas in the room, the hope is that this trend continues and maybe even accelerates. It's just how things go when a team wins. You start losing staff to other organizations. You win a Super Bowl, make deep playoff runs, dominate your division, and suddenly everyone wants a piece of your formula. But with that also comes opportunity. The best minds in the game want to join teams that are trending up. That's exactly where the Eagles are, and the addition of Douglas proves that the organization isn't just resting on past success. They're building towards something bigger. Speaking of building, let's pivot to something that's been a hot topic this offseason: the future of the infamous tush push, or as Eagles fans like to call it, the brotherly shove. As we near the end of May, we're about to find out whether this play will remain a part of the NFL rulebook or if league pressure will finally push it out of existence. At the start of this offseason, there was a proposal from the Packers to ban the play. They claimed it raised safety concerns, and the league's commissioner temporarily shelved the decision pending further review. To change a rule like this, 24 out of 32 owners need to agree. When it came time to vote, it split right down the middle, 16-16. No consensus. But here's the thing. The NFL did its own research, and the data is clear. There is no evidence linking the tush push to injuries. None. Zero. So what are we doing here? Why ban a play that's safe and legal just because one team has mastered it? Let's call it what it is. The Eagles run it better than anyone else because they've built their team to dominate in short yardage situations. They have a quarterback who squats over 600 pounds and an offensive line stacked with pro bowlers and all pros. This isn't a gimmick. It's not a cheat code. It's pure football built on leverage, power, timing, and precision. Other teams have tried to copy it, but they failed. The success rate just isn't there when it's not the Eagles executing it. This play takes more than just a push. It takes hours of practice, chemistry between linemen, a quarterback who trusts his center, and coaches who aren't afraid to lean into physicality. It's everything football is supposed to be. So yeah, there's talk that the league wants to get rid of it because it's not aesthetically pleasing or it doesn't fit the traditional mold of how football should look. That's nonsense. Football is about innovation. It's about finding an edge, creating mismatches, and using your strengths to move the chains. If you can't stop the tush push, maybe you need to get better up front. Plain and simple. The Eagles owner has even spoken on the issue, highlighting the importance of player safety and reaffirming that no evidence has shown the play to be dangerous. If it were, the Eagles wouldn't be running it. But here we are with people trying to legislate away one team's success because others can't match it. That's not what the game should be about. And let's not ignore how effective the play has been. Even though its usage has dropped around the league, the Eagles still run it better than anyone. Only Buffalo came close in terms of attempts, and even they weren't as efficient. You'd think a team with that kind of success would be celebrated for its execution. Instead, we're having debates about whether it should be allowed. There's still more to get into, especially on the growing influence of Cooper Dean and what his rise means for this team. But before we jump into that story, take a second to appreciate where this team is headed. From smart front office hires to pushing the envelope on the field, the Eagles continue to evolve while staying true to their identity. It's a great time to be a fan. Now, let's shift the spotlight to someone who's quickly becoming a fan favorite and might just be one of the most compelling figures in this current Eagles roster. Cooper Dean. If you've been paying attention, Lately, you'll know exactly why his name is starting to carry serious weight inside the building and among the fan base. But if not, get ready. Because this guy's writing his own story, and it's one worth telling. This past weekend, the team participated in a community challenge supporting autism awareness, and the event turned out to be a massive success. More than $10 million were raised, setting a new record. And while the night featured a mix of legendary players, both past and present, there was one name that everyone seemed to be buzzing about: Dean. The reaction from the fans, especially the younger ones, was remarkable. Kids were running up to him, eager to grab a selfie, hoping to get a moment with number 33. In a sea of jerseys featuring names like Brian Dawkins and Jason Kelsey, it was Dean's number that seemed to pop up more and more. That moment wasn't just a one-off either. If you rewind to the week of the Super Bowl, the signs were already there. During media appearances and team events, every time Dean stepped into a crowd, he was instantly surrounded. It didn't matter who else was around, he pulled attention like a magnet. That's rare. And it's not just because of personality or charisma, though he's got plenty of that too. It's because he makes plays, game-changing, highlight reel, momentum-swinging plays. Let's go back to the biggest stage of them all, the Super Bowl. Cooper Dean etched his name into Eagles history with one of the most memorable defensive plays of the entire game, an interception off Patrick Mahomes that he turned into 6 points. That single play sent shockwaves through the stadium and solidified his reputation as a defensive difference maker. But it wasn't just a one-game wonder. Throughout last season, Dean proved time and again that he's got the tools, the instincts, and the fire to be one of the top cornerbacks in the league. According to Pro Football Focus, he finished with the highest overall grade among all corners, who logged over 100 snaps. That's not a small sample size, that's not a fluke. That's the result of preparation, discipline, and a mindset that's locked in from the first whistle to the last. One of his most telling moments came in a head-to-head against Derrick Henry, a matchup that would make any defensive back nervous. Not Dean. He stepped up, delivered, and made a critical stop that sent a message across the league. He's not just a coverage guy. He's physical, aggressive, and fearless. When he was elevated to a starting role in Week 6, everything about the Eagles' defense shifted. The unit, which had been struggling to find consistency, suddenly found a rhythm. The coverage tightened, the communication improved, and most importantly, the confidence grew. From that point forward, the Eagles had the best-ranked defense in the NFL. That's not coincidence. That's the ripple effect of one player raising the level of everyone around him. But what makes Cooper Dean even more fascinating is his story beyond the numbers. His presence has become symbolic for something bigger. He's the first white cornerback to start in the NFL since Jason Sehorn back in the early 2000s. That might not sound like much on the surface, but in a league where certain positions come with unspoken expectations, his rise challenges outdated narratives. And the way he handles it with humility, perspective, and respect only adds to his appeal. He doesn't shy away from the conversation. Instead, he uses it as an opportunity to build bridges, earn respect, and continue proving that talent knows no stereotype. He's got the skill set, sure, but he also has the awareness and emotional intelligence that leaders possess. When he speaks, teammates listen. When he plays, fans pay attention. It's rare to find that blend of performance and personality, especially in a young player. And now, with rookie Quinton Mitchell entering the picture, the Eagles might just have one of the most exciting young cornerback duos in the entire league. The two complement each other well. Mitchell brings the raw athleticism and versatility, while Dean offers poise, intelligence, and a steady presence on the field. That combination could define the Eagles' secondary for years to come. And considering how much emphasis the league places on passing attacks, having two corners you can rely on is massive. That's how you survive in today's NFL. That's how you win championships. And with the defensive line applying pressure up front and a coaching staff that understands how to scheme to their strengths, Dean and Mitchell are positioned to thrive. There's a renewed energy surrounding this defense, and a lot of it starts with guys like Dean who refuse to take shortcuts, who study film like their career depends on it, and who deliver when it matters most. It's that attention to detail and commitment to growth that separates the good from the great. And make no mistake, Dean's trajectory is pointed toward greatness. Off the field, he's also starting to become a face of the franchise. That's something you can manufacture. It happens naturally. It's in the way fans react to him. It's in the way kids gravitate to him. It's in the way teammates rally around him. You don't earn that with social media clout or one. Good season. You earn it with consistency, with grit, and with the kind of focus that makes people believe in your mission. The Eagles know what they have in him, and they're not taking it for granted. He's the kind of player that front offices dream of discovering, and while it took the right opportunity and the right moment for him to shine, the league is watching now. Opposing quarterbacks are going to start thinking twice before testing him. Offensive coordinators will have to game plan around him. That's the level he's reaching. And here's the part that should excite every Eagles fan out there. He's just getting started. We haven't seen his ceiling yet. What we've seen so far is only a glimpse of what he's capable of. With another offseason of training, more reps, more tape to study, and a deeper understanding of the system, he's going to come back sharper, stronger, and even more dangerous. So keep an eye on Cooper Dean. Remember the name, because the next chapter in his story is already being written, and if the early pages are any indication, it's going to be something special. And with that, we've covered a lot already. But there's still more on the horizon. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a stunning development that has sent shockwaves through the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles have reportedly secured a triple threat in the quarterback market by acquiring Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow. This unprecedented move, if confirmed, would not only redefine the team's offensive power, but also shake the very foundations of the league's competitive landscape. The Eagles, already a formidable force in recent years, have taken the NFL by storm with its rumored acquisition spree. Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs superstar and reigning MVP, is widely regarded as one of the most electrifying quarterbacks in the game today. His ability to extend plays, deliver pinpoint throws, and lead clutch comebacks has made him a perennial championship contender. Adding Mahomes to the Eagles roster would instantly elevate their offensive capabilities to a new stratosphere. But the Eagles did not stop there. Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills' dynamic playmaker, known for his powerful arm and relentless mobility, is also rumored to be joining Philadelphia. Allen's dual-threat style complements Mahomes' more improvisational flair, offering the Eagles a versatile and unpredictable attack that defenses will struggle to contain. With Allen's strong leadership and Mahomes' creative genius, the Eagles' offense could become nearly unstoppable. The surprise in his blockbuster trio is Joe Burrow, the Cincinnati Bengals rising star who has quickly emerged as one of the NFL's premier young talents. Burrow's poise under pressure and precision passing have propelled the Bengals deep into the playoffs, signaling his arrival as a future MVP candidate. His addition to Philadelphia would not only bring depth to the quarterback position, but also inject a fresh strategic edge to the team's offensive playbook. This rumored acquisition spree has sent fans and analysts into a frenzy, debating how the Eagles will manage such an abundance of quarterback talent. The questions abound. Will all three quarterbacks share playing time, or will a clear starter emerge? How will the coaching staff balance egos and maintain chemistry within the team? What kind of offensive system will maximize the unique skills of these three elite players? Financially, the Eagles' bold moves indicate a willingness to push the boundaries of the salary cap in pursuit of a championship. With three elite quarterbacks on the roster, Philadelphia's front office appears committed to building a super team that can compete at the highest level for years to come. While the rumor remains unconfirmed by official sources, the implications are undeniable. The Eagles' dominance in the quarterback market signals a new era in the NFL, where teams may increasingly seek to stack talent in unconventional ways. If this triple signing comes to fruition, it could rewrite the NFL playbook and inspire other franchises to pursue bold, high-impact acquisitions. For now, the NFL world watches eagerly as this story develops, anticipating one of the most remarkable roster moves in football history. Philadelphia's rumored trio of Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow promises a thrilling future for Eagles fans and a seismic shift in the league's balance of power. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.